Good morning and welcome to another Ni No Kuni video. This is going to be finding a place to grind monsters that's around your level and forming a party to do that in order to get more loot and more gold. And so what we're going to do is we're going to push. So what you're going to do realistically is you're going to push this map button in the top right. It's not always active, so it took me a little while to figure out what it was. But you're going to push the map, and then you're going to go to the world map, and you're going to look at the different levels of the different places. So I would like to go to Eastern Heartlands because that's around my level. And then I'm going to pull up the monster menu on the right here. And I'm going to look for a monster that's within 4 levels of me. That's going to be really good for grinding. You're not going to use too many potions, and you're going to get a good amount of loot. And this is based on your combat power and your items, right? So for now, we're going to choose Patalia, and we're going to run there. And we're just going to run on foot. And so we'll make our way over there, and then we'll be creating a party or joining one to see how many other players are grinding in that location. Obviously, having a kingdom and having people who are around the same combat power and level is really going to help here, so that way you all can go sort of grinding in the same spot, you know, on auto while you're away from the computer or away from your iPad or at work or what have you. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wait till I get there, and then we're going to search for a nearby party, and if we don't see anyone grinding, I'm just going to create one. And then I'm going to give it a name, something like grinding or level 26 or 80,000 CP, something like that, that really gives people a detailed breakdown of what you're doing. And so for me, I have my potions actually set up in my settings, which are here. I'm so sorry it took me a second to find that. So at the bottom, it's going to be the cogwheel in your menu. And so then I've got my auto battle distance set to about 20 meters. You know, that seems like a very good amount to be grinding monsters in the nearby area. And you want all of your group to have a very similar auto battle radius. And depending on how fast you're clearing monsters, you'll be able to do that either faster or slower. So again, menu, and then the cogwheel. And then I've got using auto heal skills at 47%. And then auto using HP at 51%. So you're also going to have to change those based on how many healers you have in the party. And so there are obviously an optimal group setup where you would have enough healers and you would enough tanks and enough damage, so you wouldn't really be having to use potions. And then you're also going to want to change those settings depending on what activity you're doing. If you're doing player versus player combat, you're going to want to be using those potions a lot more actively. That way you aren't defeated in combat. And so while we're going here, I'm going to be trying to attempt to get a little bit stronger as well. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the familiars shop. No, excuse me. Sorry guys, I'm still learning, so I hope that you're all having a great time and that you're learning as well and getting things taken care of. But I would like to do some summoning. So maybe it is familiars. Let me try familiars or possibly equipment. Anyway, we've arrived at our grind shop. Our grind shop. We've arrived at our grind spot. So we're going to go ahead and put ourselves in auto here. And then we're going to take a look at what the monsters represent, right? So my primary element at the moment is fire. And so I would like to be finding earth monsters like these to grind. That way I'm doing the most that I could possibly be doing. So I have 3 fire familiars set up, and I'm using my fire weapon and primarily fire skills. So you're going to try to put yourself in the best possible spot to do your most optimal grinding. And then I can just leave myself here all day long, and I'll be in a really good spot when I come back. I'll be a higher level. I'll obviously have gold. I'll have a lot of drops. And so I also noticed that I'm getting not low, but I only have 90 potions. So we can go ahead and go to the shop, and we can buy just some basic potions. right? So for 50, for 300 gold, that's a really, really good price because we're getting tons of gold just for sitting here. So we're actually going to buy 150 more. So now we're set up, we're hanging out, and we're grinding. And now I'm going to go ahead and do some summons to try to get a little bit stronger just as we go into this grind pattern. So I'm actually waiting on several of these to get 10 tickets because I personally like to summon 10 things at a time. I just feel like it works out better. And so we're on the way up for 10 for a lot of these. But I am going to do a 10 drop on the costume summon. And nice wolf hat. That actually looks really good. So we're going to go ahead and wear the wolf hat. That is fantastic. And that's not really going to help us too much as far as grinding goes, but you see what I'm talking about. You could have easily summoned familiars there or equipment or other things to set yourself up for success. But in the meantime, I'm going to look around. And I actually do see some other players over there farming. So we're going to search for a party, right? Nearby parties. What do we have here? We've got a level 27 with 80,000 CP. And then a mix of other levels here. So I think we're going to take a look. We could join that player's party or this one that says farm. But they're all kind of out of my level and CP range. So I'm going to instead create a party with an auto approve on. And then we're going to name our party. Grind auto. And then we're going to recruit for that. And so we're just going to hope people join the party. And so far in my experience, people join very often. And I'm going to put myself in the middle here as well. That way everyone can see me. Right? That way anyone that comes here will see me at the center of the pack. It also gives me the most opportunity to farm several packs, depending on how fast I can clear these. So that's really the basics of grinding and using the map to find monsters that are around your level. You can see it also shows the element type on the map, so if we wanted to do the level 26s, we would just have to have something that counters water, which is going to be earth, of course. And so you can also take a look at what you have to help you determine where you should grind. So my water type weapon, my ice hammer, is actually my best. So I would want to find a group of fire monsters more than likely to grind against to maximize how many monsters I'm killing and how much gold and experience I'm generating. And most of you are going to be stronger than this. You know, use your draws, craft some equipment, and so we're still doing that, right? We're still understanding the absolute basics and working our way through the game. So I hope you all have an excellent time grinding. You get in some really good farming groups, and you get tons of gold, experience, and enjoy the game to the fullest. We'll go ahead and hide our quests as well, and then we'll just leave this somewhere else, right? I can just move my iPad somewhere else and take a break. I can pull this up, and I can reduce the brightness so it doesn't take as much battery power. And then turn down the volume. So with that, that is how to grind, how to find out where to grind, and you're going to want to mostly do things that are within 4 levels of you, based on your combat power, your items, and your setup. So I hope you all have a wonderful day in Ni No Kuni. This is day 2 of the game's launch, and I will see you next time for another Ni No Kuni video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, or criticize, or offer tips and tricks. Thank you all for watching and have a wonderful day.